Welcome to the second lesson of the Blog Builder. This is the second lesson in Module 1. It's about website hosting. As always, a huge welcome. I'm Brad Brown, and if you have any comments or questions, please pop them into the question bar or the comments bar right next to this video. So just running through what you're going to achieve and go through in Module 1. In the last video, we spoke about Blogging 101 and just a brief overview about this entire course. In this video, I'll be chatting about website hosting. We're going to chat in the next video about installing WordPress and then installing a WordPress theme and pages and posts. Essentially, as I mentioned in the last video, by the time Module 1 is finished, your website will be up and running. So let's talk about choosing a web host. And this is, I think, for a lot of people, it's a bit out there and they don't really understand this part of why you need a web host. So I just wanted to give you a bit of background. And the easiest way to think about it is to think of your website or blog as a series of Microsoft Word documents. So let's say, for instance, each page on your website is one Word document. So you could store those documents on your local computer, but nobody is able to access them. In order for the World Wide Web to access them, you need to store it somewhere that can allow that access. So that's essentially what a web host is in simple terms. There's obviously a lot more that's going on behind the scenes, but that in a nutshell is how it works. And what a web host does is it just hosts those files in a secure place, and it tells the internet this is your address. And that's where we talk about a domain. That is your web address. So it'll be mybusiness.com or yourfirstname.co.za, whatever it is. And there are a couple of different options with regards to hosting. There's free versus paid. Through WordPress, they do offer free hosting. It is limited though. It's great to start out with, but as soon as you want to start growing this thing, they don't allow you to put certain things on that website. You can't monetize it. So it is limited in that sort of sense. Yes, it's free, but it's just one of those things. I've always said rather go for a paid solution. They're really not that expensive. You can pick up hosting packages for very, very cheap that does exactly what you need it to do. So I'm not going to talk you through the free version. If you want to go check it out, just search for wordpress.org, I think it is, and you can sign up for a free account there. It's very limited with what you can do, but for this course, I'm going to be talking through a paid solution. So there are lots of different hosts that you could possibly use, and there's literally thousands of them. So I'm going to share a couple with you that I use and have used and currently used. And one is a company called AfriHost. They're a South African-based hosting company, and the truth of the matter is it doesn't matter where you're hosting. I mean, you can live in Australia, you can host in South Africa, or you can live in South Africa, host in the United States. It doesn't really matter, but AfriHost is a local company. They've got local support, and I've used them. Of late, there have been one or two little issues, I'll be upfront with you, that I haven't been happy about, particularly with our big sites, the ones that generate most of our revenue. So we've moved that hosting to what they call dedicated WordPress hosting, to a company called WP Engine. I'll put the resources, I'll put these links in next to this video as well. So if you want to check them out, to be honest, WP Engine, if you're just starting out, is overkill. It is great if you've got a business that's doing quite a bit of traffic, that if you need to do online transactions like credit card transactions and that sort of thing, I've yet to find a better web host. You still need someone to host your domain. It gets quite technical because one company hosts the domain and they host the actual files. But like I said, if you're just starting out, WP Engine is probably overkill. AfriHost, in my opinion, is probably one of the better ones to start out with, even though I have had some one or two little issues with them. It's not major. Don't stress too much. It's not major issues. Another one is namecheap.com. That's another one that we use. I've put the link next to this video as well. You can check them out. They are dirt cheap, and yeah, again, pretty reliable. I've had no issues. Some of the stuff that I've had issues with AfriHost, I've moved to Namecheap as well. And then GoDaddy is probably one of the biggest ones, and there's lots. There's Hetzner, there's Bluehost. So I'm not going to say rather do that one. If you're South African, AfriHost is probably going to work, and I'm sure it'll work for international sort of students on this course as well. But Namecheap or GoDaddy are two good options for our international students. So I'm going to run through exactly how to set it up on AfriHost. I've also put together some sort of prerequisites, some of the minimums that you need with regards to putting together, or what you need to host WordPress. Okay, so this is the AfriHost website. It's afrihost.com. and this is the home page. So most of the web hosts have something similar. It doesn't really matter what's on there. So all you need to do is find where it says hosting. There it is there. And then it gives you various options. So you've got Linux hosting, Windows hosting, cloud serving, all of these sort of things. You don't really need any of that stuff. It's either between Linux or Windows. The Linux generally is a bit cheaper than Windows. That's at 6 of one, half dozen of another. I don't think it makes too much of a difference. Just go the Linux route, and then if you scroll all the way down, it gives you various options. Okay, so the one they recommend here is 39 Rand a month. It gives you a free domain name, so it gives you a free .co.za. And then if you look, what you really need to look at is the MySQL databases, because you need at least one of them to install WordPress. So this will work. The silver option will work as well. It's from a space perspective, 200 megs as opposed to 1,000 megs. I'm going to sign up for an account just to show you exactly how to do it. So to start off with 29 Rand a month with a free domain is dirt cheap. So sign up and then just go through the process of setting up all what you need to set up. So it tells me that's going to be due today. And then I have an account already. So it says, welcome back, Brad. Proceed to next step. If you don't have an account, you would need to set up an account. And then this is where you would choose your domain. So if you were choosing mybusiness.co.za, you can choose the different options. So they give you, on AfriHost, as South African, they give you a free .co.za for a .com's 129, and it gives you all the different options. So you can search here for the domain that you want. And if you're building an international business, I would suggest get a .com. There aren't too many left, if I have to be brutally honest, but if you've got a business name that's pretty unique, you'll probably get it. But yeah, I'm just going to do a .co.za for this example. Okay, so I've registered blogbuilder.co.za. That's what I wanted to register, and then just click to proceed to final step. It asks me for the bank details. I don't want to read the terms and conditions. I'm just going to go complete order. And there we go. Welcome to AfriHost. It's now done what it needs to do. So what's going to happen is it's now going to send you an email saying, here are all your login details. And it doesn't matter who your host is. You'll get that email once you've signed up. And what we're going to need is what they call the C panel. So it's the control panel login details. So go check your email, get those details, because you're going to need them in the next step with regards to installing WordPress. And then ongoing to sort of log in after the fact. So that's pretty much it for choosing a web host. Again, don't overthink it too much. Find something that fits your budget. You don't need to go expensive. Again, you don't need all the bells and whistles, as long as you've got a MySQL database, because you need that to install WordPress. That is the most vital.